I agree with the Prime Minister's statement. I think that the capacity of the Israeli economy to grow because of the talents and the diversity of its people, the strength of its people, is virtually unlimited. I think it will really take off in the years ahead. I think we should be supportive of that process. And there may come a time when the aid is no longer needed and no longer sought. But I don't believe that this is the time to do anything to destabilize where we are. We need to focus on our goals in the Middle East, including greater economic prosperity in Israel and for our Arab supporters of the peace process as well.
Please.
Well, first of all, keep in mind the settlements as an issue in the abstract, or the larger issue of settlements, are by prior agreement of the parties to be resolved by agreements. That's the first thing. Secondly, we know as a practical matter that the settlements issue can become a contentious one, can become a problem, as one of, not the only problem in the peace process. So it's something that we have said repeatedly has to be handled with great care. Now, I think just saying those two things is about all that needs to be said, that this is something that the more you talk about it, you can do more harm than good in the ultimate peace process. But I think those are the two touchstones, the lodestars that ought to guide the decisions as we go along on settlements. Peter, you asked a specific question. Of course, the Prime Minister's already addressed this. They have clearly have very high-level contacts already established. And what I said to him, I'll be glad to say to you in public, I said I think it's critical to do that, and I think the more contact, the better. I said what I've said here, that I have been impressed by the increasing, not only the increasing will, but the increasing capacity of Mr. Arafat and the Palestinian Authority to run their own affairs, not in security and in other areas. There's a world of difference in their ability to do this between now and 1993, and that I believe that making sure that Israel and the Palestinians were on the same page, understood each other, and made the maximum number of agreements about how they were going to proceed is critical to keeping the peace process going. The details of it, you've heard the Prime Minister comment on that, and that's a decision for them to make. We have one more question over here. Let me just say, one of the most encouraging things to me about our conversation was the clear understanding the Prime Minister showed the difficulty the closure is imposing on the Palestinians, not only in terms of not being able to move across the borders and go to jobs in Israel, but also in destabilizing their own environment and undermining our ability, for example, to encourage others from the United States and elsewhere to invest in their territory. So we understand that, and I think that security is clearly the test, and so this is obviously the next area where Mr. Arafat and the Prime Minister and his government need to go to try to reach an understanding. But I was encouraged by that. In terms of your suggestion about a summit, my experience, sir, is that when these things are called, there needs to be an understanding in advance about what is going to be achieved and how it's going to be achieved. To be fair to the Prime Minister, he's just taken office not very long ago. He's just constituted his government, and I think it would be premature to do that at this time. But I believe the more contact we have at the higher levels, the better off we're going to be and the greater the likelihood of achieving peace. But I do not believe it's the appropriate time to do that now. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about your assessment of Durand?
Thank you.